Hi guys, I'm Shmi, and today, as you can see, there are no cars around me. I'm kind of having a day off from cars, which I'll explain a little bit more in a moment. I'm in the rather beautiful location of Sardinia. You can see behind me we've got fountains, beaches, boats out at the sea, and today is about relaxing. The last couple of days, obviously I came over to Sardinia to join the Duncan Hamilton Historic Cars Tour, the Sardinia Tour, the Hamilton Tour around Sardinia, which has been awesome. Following a pretty busy and hectic period. I've been travelling left, right and centre, flights and travel plans that have caused some immense stress you would not believe. But I wanted to kind of explain what a day off from this is like, and it's not really a day off because I'm still here making a video for you guys, which I've got to edit, and I'll be posting stuff on social media today as well, and maybe even filming another video later on. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about it because I don't show you too much of what happens behind the scenes. All the hotels, the flights, the travels, the ferries, the Eurotunnels, and I worked out that tonight I'll be staying in my 81st hotel of this year. So 2016, we're in the 9th month and I'll be going to my 81st hotel. I've already taken about 30 flights this year, obviously some intercontinental, some just European, and again about 20-25 Eurotunnels and ferry crossings. So I don't show you the travel, the planning, the preparation that goes into all of these things. For example, getting to the end of Fuel Faction, flying to Scotland, I've got personal reasons to head up there every now and then back down to Marseille where I had, let's say, an interesting adventure to get the flight, then the next flight to make the ferry crossing over to Sardinia so that I could get here and shoot the videos, obviously, which then need editing when absolutely exhausted to get them online for you guys. It took me about 25 hours door to door to get from Edinburgh to where we're staying in Sardinia. So there's sometimes some pretty intense and stressful travel. I know it's super glamorous and I wouldn't change it for anything. I love exploring and seeing so many different places, but I think often I don't perhaps show how much work and preparation has to go in behind the scenes to make all of this possible. So, I mean, recently this tour, I'm coming up to nearly 2 months into it now. No, a month and a half, 6 weeks shall we say. Done some amazing things. I mean, being at the Nürburgring at Ring Garage with Boosted Boris seems so long ago now, and that was before setting off down, going to do my TT Cup training, heading down to Ljubljana for Fuel Faction, which was just the most awesome tour ever. I think I perhaps made it a little bit too repetitive with my content, but we had some amazing shots. Filming with the drone, editing it all in such a more sort of cinematic way was awesome. But again, the workload to do that, the effort that went into making those videos, it took Ben, Patrick and I 4 to 5 hours a night to edit those videos. So it was an interesting learning experience, putting music in, using the drone footage, being more cinematic with the cuts and the jumps. But the workload on top of, I mean, driving all day, obviously setting off from the hotel 8:39 in the morning, getting to the next hotel 8:39 at night, then sitting down, eat something quickly, and 4 or 5 hours of editing, left with about 5 hours to sleep before doing it all again. And if you've ever been on a road trip, driving that long every day, it's hard work. It's even harder work when you're filming and getting camera angles and stopping and making sure you get all the shots to make a cool video. Awful lot of fun, obviously. Who am I to complain? It's absolutely amazing. But it's quite exhausting. This is hard work sometimes, but very rewarding hard work, and I'm glad you guys enjoy the videos. We're doing our best to read the comments and adapt and change and make it all work, but it's intense, let's put it that way. So what's coming next? The title. I've got a couple more weeks on the road. I'm going to be heading off today actually. The reason I've kind of got a bit of a rest day is because this evening I'll be catching a ferry from Olbia here in Sardinia over to Genoa in Italy to drive up to Turin. So I get to Genoa at 6 AM and then it's straight a couple of hours drive to Turin in the morning for Cars and Coffee Torino, where we'll be having some fun at a monastery in the morning before heading to an airfield. So I'll be taking the GT4 there, which I'm looking forward to. Cars and Coffee is always great. Been going for a couple of years now. Had a lot of fun earlier this year, Cars and Coffee Brescia, then the Cars and Coffee Rally around Tuscany, which almost sort of created the idea of doing Fuel Faction mostly around Italy. It's just such a beautiful country to drive around. So I'll be heading there, then from there I'm heading back into the south of France for something, then back to Milan for something, then on a plane to the Paris Motor Show, then on a plane to Barcelona for the Blancpain Ultra Cars weekend, and then on a plane back to Scotland before I finally touched down in London again. 2 months since I was last in London. So, you know, even from here on, I've got a hotel room on a ferry tonight, a hotel room in Turin tomorrow, a room in France the next night, a room in Milan the next night, a room in Paris the next night, a room in Barcelona the next night. And obviously this is all, it's quite intense. I don't know if you've ever done a trip where you stay at different hotels every night, but when you do it for sort of 2 months, my word, by the end of it, it's a little bit like I'm living out of a suitcase properly. And I'm just living out of hand luggage as well. I literally have one small bag with all my clothes, my cameras, my laptops, everything for doing all of this. And then a laptop, a little laptop messenger bag as well. So not exactly travelling with the world's largest amount of luggage. That's why I've got to go and do things like going to the laundrette, washing behind the scenes. You know, got to iron all my shirts, of course. I've got a couple of Shmi shirts as well that you've probably seen in some videos. But I mean, it's awesome. It's very, very busy. This has been, I think before it started I described it as ultimate carnage. It certainly feels like ultimate carnage, life on the road. What else can I tell you? Well, let's do some updates about the cars. So obviously the GT4 is with me here. When I finish this last 2-week period, it will go on a truck back to the UK. I'm vaguely sort of wondering at the moment what's going to happen with the car, whether I should unwrap it and make it blue. Honestly, whether I'm going to keep it. I love driving it. I've done something like 9,000 miles. It's one of the best cars in the world to drive, but with so many cars incoming, I'm not sure what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to sell. And perhaps the most duplicated car is the GT4, because if you take the Aston Martin GT8, it's coming in December, and the Focus RS, they kind of, the GT4 sandwiches between. You've got the drama and event of the GT8 or the sort of everyday manual drive of the Focus RS, and how does that fit with GT4? I'm not really sure at this stage, so watch that space. But whether I should unwrap it and make it sapphire blue again or keep it in the electric lime, I'm equally tied about, so lots to decide on that front. The McLaren has already been back to McLaren, the part has been replaced, it has already been painted at MSO in Woking. So that's going to be back, I hope, in time for when I get back to the UK in 2 weeks, although it will need obviously some new Topaz protection film on the front. And as I like to do after all these tours, it's also had a little look over MSO, sort of fixing any little niggles. There's a plastic protector pad under the front which has obviously got scratch driving on some bumpy road, so that's being changed. Anything like that. The FF also, I've sent that off to be looked at and have just clean up and some couple of things. Nothing major, but you know, small little niggles here and there fixed. Because obviously you go on these road trips, stuff like that happens, but again, it's more preparation and planning and making sure everything comes together, because I've got trucks left, right and centre moving cars around in a country I'm not even in. In fact, fun thing, the other day, so when I was in Scotland, I had left the LT Spider in Barcelona, the FF in Marseille, well, it was on a truck from Marseille, the GT4 was still in Marseille waiting for me to come pick it up again, on the way to Italy. So we've got Spain, France and Italy. Focus RS, obviously I was with in Scotland, and my Mini is actually with my dad in England. So 5 different countries for the 5 cars. Just think about the logistics and sort of thoughts that have to go on to make sure nothing goes wrong with all of that and everything's all correct. Simultaneously, the FF is now needing its MOT, its annual sort of car health check, getting the LT to be fixed. It's like, it's almost a job on its own, managing a fleet of cars that are getting used. You know, I'm driving these cars hard. I figure in the last 12 months I've done now, in a 12-month window, just shy of 40,000 miles in my own cars. So obviously you could do that in a diesel Audi or something and it would probably run completely smoothly and need one service in the middle. But when you're splitting it across cars, sometimes temperamental hand-built cars, let's just say there are things that come up along the way that need a little bit of tender love and care. So the cars are all sorted, they're all back home. Let's talk a bit about the cars incoming. I've said it before, but let me remind. The Aston Martin GT8, the Vantage GT8, that's my next car that's incoming. That will arrive with me, I believe, in December, but I might not register it until January, just to make it 1st of January 2017 car. We'll see. In the very near future, I'm going to be announcing my specification, which is all fixed and confirmed, because the car will be going into build, I guess in about 2 months' time, let's say mid-November. I'm cooking up some pretty cool plans with Aston Martin for behind the scenes, in terms of what I can film for you, what I can show you. So I'm quite excited about the opportunities because obviously it's my new car being built, so that's ludicrously exciting. But also in terms of the access I'm going to be able to have and what I'm going to be able to film for you guys, which is going to be, I think, a first for me. So this is really cool, working with Aston Martin, absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for the car. I mean, you saw probably that in Germany I drove the paddle shift GT8, and what an experience that thing is. Totally crazy. So looking forward to the manual. I don't think I'll be able to drive another one until I've got mine, but I'll obviously do my best. Either way, specification video will come, the Road to GT8 series of course. Video 1 was my drive, video 2 will be my specification, so that's going to come to you quite soon. And I'll tell you now, 2 contrasting colours that are very bold, because race car basically. It's supposed to be cool and it's a limited edition car, there are 150 of them, so I've just decided to go bit nuts on my spec and make something very wild, and I hope you're going to like it. I certainly do, and I can't wait to see what it looks like finished. The next car after that is the AMG GTR. You might have also just seen they've introduced the GTC convertible, the roadster of the AMG GT, which is cool. It's got some aggressive styling, a bit like the AMG GTR, the rear wheel steer and the slightly wider body kit, but not quite as powerful or as driver focused as the coupe, so coupe for me without a shadow of a doubt. Deliveries, I believe that the GTR are going to start in March next year. Now, I obviously ordered mine, I think it was April, May this year, before it was released, so I should be quite near the top of the list. I have no idea when right-hand drive cars will start. In November, so about 2 months' time, we'll be getting the specification and order list so I can start working out the spec of my car. And the colour. The colour, I have no idea what colour. I love Solar Beam Yellow, but that was kind of the AMG GTS colour. I love the idea of a red one, because red is, I've not owned. Have I owned a red car? I don't think I've owned a red car. Green Hell Magno, I really like the green, but I'm not sure about a satin matte car. Maybe if they do a Green Hell metallic, a bright Green Hell colour, I would be very tempted by that. Maybe there'll be an option to have your own, so let's see. Specification of that and when it's going to come. Then Ford GT, we got the letter, I think, saying you were getting one in, what was it, mid-August? And then you sent back a form confirming that you'd like one and what country you're in and that kind of thing. And then you got a reply back in the first couple of days of September saying that we'll get more information. Sorry, I've got the months totally wrong. The initial letter was mid-July, then returned that, and then the early August was the email saying we'll let you know your customer order window notification period. So at some point I'll know when my car is going to be, we'll get the specification list and all that kind of stuff, so I'm very excited about that. But I'm pretty set in my mind on what colours my Ford GT is going to be, but I'm definitely not going to keep that, not going to reveal that yet, that's a secret for now. But Ford GT is just going to be absolutely mega. I get so excited seeing everything. I don't know if you saw the the photos a chap called Jeremy Cliff took in Colorado the other day of 3 Ford GTs driving together. Unpainted, raw finish. My words, did they look good on the road. Clearly out testing, doing some more weather testing and things. So yeah, that's the cars on the horizon. There are probably some more things beyond that, but not ready to announce or reveal those quite yet. So what else do we have? Well, busy 2 weeks ahead, then back to the UK. I've got a couple of weeks probably at home where I'm going to be flying off on lots of short things. Obviously I've got my race at the Audi TT Cup at Hockenheimring, which is going to be pretty mega, all signed up and prepared for that. I've got a couple of other cool things I'm doing in other European countries that I can't talk too much about yet. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to head back out to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, maybe for the Grand Prix, those kind of things again. But really, looking forward to 2017, which is going to be a big year. I'm definitely going to run another Fuel Faction, maybe invite some more friends along, because it was, for me, as a sort of car enthusiast, it was the ultimate drive. With the cars, long days, hard work, but some of the best roads and scenery you could imagine. We visited some amazing places. I had put in so much work and time to plan it, but it all paid off beautifully. The drive was spectacular, the drive of my life. And following that up with these other tours that I've done, the McLaren F1 Owners Club in Spain, and then the GT4 here on the Duncan Hamilton Tour has just sort of been mega too. Sardinia has been great. I kind of want to come back. The only problem with Sardinia, you can't get fuel above 95 RON here on this island at all. which is not great for supercars because they kind of want 98 or better, really. Alas, maybe I'll be able to find a way around that. But yeah, what's coming next? So much stuff. So much stuff. Always taking into account your comments, what you like and don't like, whether the different kind of videos people want to see. I think a lot of you want to know more, I guess, about my life and about what we do, so I'm going to try and show you more behind the scenes and what goes into running the Shmee150 YouTube channel, because I know on the face of it, it looks like, I guess, a glamorous holiday, me just travelling around the world, but behind the scenes you've also got Mark from the M2 running the business, two chaps running sort of marketing side, because obviously this is a business, there are wages to pay, the guys all need to get paid for helping out. You've got videos being edited, you've got three guys wonderfully helping out running the Shmee150 social media pages, and then there are all sorts of other things that come up behind the scenes, because it's basically a team of 10 people to run this now. It's crazy, and it's become kind of a business, and we've got so many things in the works for the future. More things we're doing. Obviously you know about the stuff like Supercar TV show, the Living the Supercar Dream book, merchandise. We want to do some new cool stuff with merchandise, so watch that space. Model cars, that kind of thing. Some really cool products that you guys are asking for. We've obviously got an app in the works. We are constantly doing licensing things, so there's a lot of time spent doing that. Obviously I'm travelling left, right and centre doing stuff for other people as well, advisory stuff in the social media world. It takes a lot of time, so that's why we've got this whole sort of team set up to make all of this happen, and why it's all, I guess, a little bit busier than it first, I think, seems. So yeah, Shmee150's kind of gone from hobby to business behind the scenes, and I think it'd be interesting to show you more of that, and more of what we actually do to make all of this work. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, inspired a bit. Obviously I try and watch my fellow YouTubers and my friends' videos, so Solomon Drin the other day did a really cool piece just telling you a little bit more about what he does, and I think I should tell you a little bit more about what I do to make all of this work, and how Shmee150 is my job, my life, my online character. I guess almost this video is coming from Tim, not from Shmee. But how it all pieces together and makes all of this happen and brings you guys all this cool content, whether it's the videos on YouTube or the stuff on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or wherever you may be following, and all the stuff we're doing with other companies that they're putting out too. So my schedule certainly keeps pretty busy. It's amazingly fun, and what comes next is an awful lot of very exciting stuff on the travelling front, the cars front and the events front. And hopefully I'll be able to catch up with some of you guys at Cars and Coffee Torino. I think this video might have gone out, or might not have gone out by then, we'll see. But if not there, at some event somewhere in the future. But, I mean, as always, I really appreciate your support, guys, and for watching the videos, and for staying tuned, and the pleasant comments you write, and the suggestions you make. Trying to sort of read everything, and read the criticism without taking it too seriously, because obviously Shmee150 is kind of my baby. I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now. I try and do the best, always trying to do the best. Anyway, I should stop rambling now. We're going to go and hang out and have some lunch in a marina somewhere near here. Enjoy the view, relax a bit before we get on the ferry tonight for a short night before tomorrow's event, filming again at the airfield, and the craziness continues. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know what you'd like to see more of, and what I can say and show you, and that kind of stuff. But I hope you enjoy hearing a little bit more, general sort of update from here in Sardinia. That's it for now though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch up with you soon. Cheers.